How's it going, everybody? It's Pride here, and welcome back to another Q&A video. Got a bunch of questions, and I got some time to answer them, so like always, if you have any questions you might want to ask me for another Q&A video, feel free to leave it in the comment section down below, and I'll try to answer it next time that I do one of these, which is typically like, once or twice a month. So the first question about Sekiro. Do you think that Shadows Die Twice will contain a good amount of content for your channel? Now, I've kind of wondered about this myself. Obviously, the game is quite a long way away. What is it, like 6-7 months at this point? There might be some nice hidden stuff in there. Obviously, they did confirm the game is not going to have PvP. I don't think that there's going to be like, surprise, there actually is PvP. I don't think there's going to be anything like that. But as for PvE content itself, I don't necessarily know if it's going to be a, long time that I'll have content for this game. What I'm thinking is there's probably going to be a playthrough, maybe two if there's multiple different, difficulties, New Game Plus and stuff like that. Then there's always after that, chances for speed runs, challenge runs. I don't know how you're going to be able to do challenge runs in that game where there's not like different weapons. There's probably going to be, the one weapon. I think they said there's 2 katanas in the game and that's about it. So we'll see. I'm thinking that I'll probably get a solid month's worth of content, maybe 2 out of Sekiro. And then after that, I don't really know what I will do. Will I want to play Black Ops 3 or, Dark Souls 3? I have Call of Duty on the mind right now because MW2 became backwards compatible. But will I really want to go back to those games? I have no idea, man. I really don't know. But for now, I'll keep being excited about the game and making videos on any news that is released on it. What is the most annoying thing about the Souls series in your opinion? Now, I mainly do invasions. There are things that are probably kind of annoying in PvE, but I couldn't really care less about that. PvEs are great. The PvE for the Dark Souls series is great. And, the one from Dark Souls 1 specifically is my favorite, and then you have Bloodborne. But when it comes to the PvP, I'd probably say the most annoying thing is just how easy it is to gank. Not saying that I would want the ganks to go away because I think the game would be incredibly boring without the ganks. Whenever I do invasions, I don't look for 1v1s. I look for the ganks because 1v1s are boring. If I wanted to do 1v1s, I'd go in the arena and do them fairly where we have even health. But I think it's too easy to have like a crazy overleveled guy who does nothing but spam spells that are going to do 800 damage when they hit you. And they can do it non-stop, full of Havel armor. And there's 4 of them sometimes, It's kind of easy just to do that. And then you have in Dark Souls Remastered where you have like 2 spawn points. So people could literally just wait for you in that spawn point and just destroy you in 1 second. I'd probably say that's one of the most annoying things that I have to say about the Dark Souls series as a whole. And another question that kind of connects into that question, how do you think they should have improved Dark Souls 1 Remastered? One thing right away, add more spawn points. I have no idea why they didn't do that. I feel like, like I said, they had the game itself. They kind of just, copy and pasted some extra textures on top, made those leaves move. Instead of having a JPEG of a leaf there, it was a GIF of a leaf at most of the points in the game. That would have been a big thing for that game, and I think it would have increased the longevity of it. You can obviously say, fix the backstabs, but I feel like that's such a core fundamental thing about the game that if you try to fix that, there is a chance that you could probably break a lot of different mechanics. And without having a proper solution on how to fix it, I wouldn't really want to say, hey, fix those backstabs. Because if I don't know how to do that, then odds are they maybe didn't come up with a solution themselves. But there's not really anything that could have been done to fix that remaster. Because it's a remaster and it's being made by people who make remasters, and all their job was probably to increase the quality of the textures and make it run smoothly. They weren't going to fix mechanics like backstabs and spawn points and, the type of people you invade and where you can invade. That wasn't really going to change for the remaster, so I wasn't really expecting much there. Are you interested in Fallout 76 and will you consider playing it with fans once it's released? I am kind of interested in Fallout 76. I probably will pre-order it at least to get that beta code in there. Then once I see, is it worth the buy? Am I going to be playing this game a good amount? then maybe I'll consider keeping that pre-order and not canceling it. Now, when it comes to playing with fans, that's most likely what I will be doing a lot of the times, because I can imagine that not being the funnest game to play by yourself, and typically I play most games by myself because I'm a goddamn loser. So once that game is released, I probably will be playing with people from the streams whenever I do stream that game, and I could definitely see that being a lot of fun. Can you rank these Soulsborne games from hardest to easiest? From hardest to easiest, I'm guessing we're talking PvE wise here. The easiest one, in my opinion, probably Dark Souls 1. And we're talking about, you know, you're an experienced player already. I would probably say Dark Souls 1 is the easiest. Dark Souls 2. Then you got Bloodborne. And then you have Dark Souls 3. To be honest, I would probably say Dark Souls 3 is the toughest of the games. And we're not talking Demon Souls here. Dark Souls 3 has the newest mechanics. It has, you know, similar speed to Bloodborne with tougher bosses than Bloodborne, I would say, except for a couple of them. Obviously, you have in the DLC for Bloodborne, you got Ludwig in there. You got the Orphan of Kos, which are ridiculous. But then in the DLC for Dark Souls 3, you have, you know, Frida and the father. I can't remember his name. The guy who screams. You got Gale. You got some pretty tough bosses in there. Midir. So overall, I would probably rank Dark Souls 3 as the toughest one. Again, when you're already an experienced player, I would even rank probably Dark Souls 2 right up there as well, just because the game is so like clunky and weird. And some of those bosses are also, you know, kind of tough. I'm kind of curious, where would you guys rank those games in terms of difficulty? You know, number 1 at the top being the hardest, and the first ones being the easiest. What do you think of From Software announcing the Dark Souls Trilogy, not even 3 months after Dark Souls Remastered's release? I would say, you know, this is more of a Bandai Namco thing, probably, than a From Software thing. Obviously, they did create the games. Bandai Namco is the publisher. They have more control over the Dark Souls series. It is kind of a bummer. I think it is a big cash grab for the Souls series. Maybe they realize, oh, we're not going to have any more Dark Souls games. Possibly. I do think that eventually From Software will probably make another Dark Souls or Bloodborne game, but it'll be, you know, a long time before that happens. They're working on Sekiro, then maybe even Sekiro 2. That's not going to happen. And I do think it sucks. I feel like it would have been okay if this thing got released, if they originally didn't have Dark Souls Remastered come out, and maybe they included Dark Souls Remastered inside this trilogy box, saying, you know, it's a trilogy, all next gen, includes Dark Souls Remastered, release it for $60. Even though that is pretty expensive for a couple games that are old, I feel like people would have bought it. I 100% would have bought it, obviously. But the fact that they released Dark Souls Remastered, and then, you know, 3 months after a whole trilogy, like, who hasn't already bought these games? People were also asking, and one of the questions was, is this trilogy going to bring life into Dark Souls again? It's not. I don't think many people are going to buy this trilogy. And if they do, who the hell knows what game they're going to start off with? It's so random, like, you can't predict when these people are going to be playing which game, so you can't necessarily say they're going to start off on Dark Souls Remastered and then go to Dark Souls 3. No, they may just go straight to Dark Souls 3, straight to Dark Souls 2. Who knows? It's too unpredictable to tell if it is going to bring any life into it, but like I said, I don't think many people are going to be buying this. Maybe as a collector's edition, but even that is kind of like a stretch. But I guess it doesn't really affect me all that much. I'm not going to be buying it anyways. I have all the games. I do not need it. Somebody asked, how many brain cells have you lost due to Dark Souls? So many. I am just one brain cell. It's just one at this point. It's grown. Firekeeper or Emerald Herald? Firekeeper. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? That's not even a question. Get the hell out of here with that question. Will you play For Honor when the new update comes out? Yeah, probably. People have been saying the characters are free. So, you know, I kind of would want to try them out. Obviously, the last time that I did play was when I made that video. And it seems like people do want to watch that game again for whatever reason. Like, nobody wanted to watch it when it came out. I guess they have improved it slightly since then. You know, they added, like, the dedicated servers and stuff. So, I'll probably give it a go again. Are we going to do a Spider-Man playthrough? Probably. I will see, you know, how long the game is. Do people actually want to watch it? 100% I will play it, and I will upload at least a couple videos on it. But we'll see where we go from there if it becomes a full blown out playthrough. Do you ever think you would do Bloodborne PvP again? If not, then why? Probably not. The last time that I played it, it was okay. You know, I played it for a couple of days when it became free for PlayStation Plus, and it wasn't really that active. Like, I was having a hard time getting invasions. I like a fairly low blood level or whatever it's called in that game. And it felt like whenever I did get into a invasion, it was really boring, because a lot of times one of the things that you would see is people who were around that same soul level as you'd imagine, 60, 70. I would have this weapon, right? It did pretty normal damage, and then I would get matched up with somebody who at that soul level has gone through all of the chalice dungeons and gotten the best blood gems and tricked out one specific weapon to be one of the craziest overpowered shit, where one hit would take out 900 just right away from that health bar. And you would basically be getting two-shot so many times by all these people, and it just wasn't fun to run into those people. In that game, PvP is kind of boring, because to be pretty competitive, you would have to go through all the chalice dungeons and get, you know, those best blood gems, which are mostly in those chalice dungeons, in the further up, tougher ones. And I didn't really want to do that, so I don't think I'll be playing that game anytime soon. Unless it's PvE, because I fucking love the PvE in that game. Another question, probably my, you know, most interesting question. This one, just, do you like Bob Ross? Coming to me from Bob Ross there. No, yeah, thank you for the question. Is there any game that you want to upload to your channel, but don't do it because you think people won't see it, or because your audience only wants Dark Souls? I did kind of think that for a while, especially a couple months back. I did kind of think, you know, there are some games I really want to play. Really, most people are only going to watch the Dark Souls videos. But then I kind of thought to myself, you know, screw it. I feel like I can't upload Dark Souls every single day, Dark Souls PvP video every single day. At this point, I've gotten to, you know, do a bunch of invasion videos and Adventures of the Worst Invader, and I like doing that series, but I probably wouldn't be able to do it every single day. You know, I maybe would, but I like taking my time with those. You know, it takes a long time to edit and to record for, and depending on what I'm doing, you know, if I stream, typically those, you know, are recorded from streams. It could take, like, you know, 3 different streaming sessions to get enough clips that I like for one video that's like 15-20 minutes, and then that'll take like 3-4 hours of editing. So it takes a while to do those. The arena videos are a lot more simple. You know, I could bust those out in an hour, and then it takes about an hour to edit as well. But the thing about arena is it's very boring, and I can't necessarily record more than like 1 or 2 videos in one sitting because I get so bored. And it's just something that happens when you've put so much time into one thing. But now at this point, no, not really. Sure, there are some games that maybe, you know, I see like Call of Duty, Fortnite, but not really. I don't really play Fortnite all that much. That I think would be cool to upload, and I feel like maybe people would watch them. Fortnite's really the only game that I can think of that if I upload it, it would probably get a lot of dislikes and people would say, I fucking hate this game, you know, just because it's that big popular game. But I feel like when it comes to a lot of different games I like playing, for example, I did a full playthrough with Doom. All those videos did pretty damn well. Obviously not as well as, you know, the Dark Souls videos, but nothing does as well as that game considering it is the main game of my channel. But no, there's nothing really that I want to upload that I feel like I can't because nobody would watch it or hate it, except for Fortnite, which I don't really care about all that much since I play it once a month at this point. Compared to your early days of playing COD, now that you have a bigger following, would you consider doing more videos of those types of games? Battlefield, Halo, Gears, any shooter really? For sure I'm going to be probably uploading a nice variety of those games. Battlefield 5 is coming out. If it's good, I might pick it up. I haven't played and bought a Battlefield game, I think, since Battlefield 3 or 4. I did upload a little bit of Gears. The new Gears is coming out. I will most likely buy it. It seems like people did enjoy the Gears videos that I made a couple months back, but I haven't really played it since. Halo. I fucking love Halo. Been playing Halo since Halo 2. When the new Halo comes out, as long as it's solid, then I will most likely upload some videos on it. And, you know, you have Black Ops 4. Black Ops 4 as a whole was okay. It was actually kind of fun towards the end of the beta to play it. But you also have Blackout, which is the battle royale game type of Call of Duty, which could be interesting. But for sure, any game that's decent and that is interesting to me, I will upload. Are you ever going to do the Outlast 1 playthrough? I'm still going to do that. Eventually, I will end up doing that. I said I was going to do that before I ended my channel in, 20, 15 years when I'm a bald, middle-aged, homeless man. It should be fun. Will you consider doing a playthrough Resident Evil 2 remake? I did already say I was going to do that. Still comes out, I think, January. I am very excited about that game. It feels like every time that I see that game, I get more and more excited. I've been playing through Resident Evil 4 offline, and it's actually been a lot of fun, like way funner than I remember it being. And for the last question, I know you make fun of anime and have it in many thumbnails, but do you like or dislike it? Goddamn weeb. I can already tell he's a weeb just by that anime picture he's got. But I guess the answer to that is,